Good morning, guys. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. People, is the audio video clear? Quickly give me a heads up. Quickly give me a heads up if the audio video is clear. Audio and video is clear, everyone. Jaldi, jaldi, jaldi tell me. Audible? Sharp and clear, everyone. Is the audio sharp and clear? Yes? Very good. Very good. Okay. Okay. How many of you went ahead and studied your ICI ka module? Did you guys go ahead and solve some questions from your ICI study material? Solve some questions. It is very important for you guys to solve the question answers of the ICI module. Yes, sir. Very good. People, after the class gets over, you have to go ahead and solve the ICI module ka question answers. It is very important because they are going to ask you from there itself. Okay, people who have solved it, were you guys able to solve the ICI module easily? Yes, you are able to go ahead and understand everything properly. If you have my module, you can do from my module. If you have ICI module, anyways, in my module also you will see the most of the questions are from the ICI module itself. So if you go ahead and do my GST total book, if you have it, okay. If you have the ICI module, you can go ahead and do from the ICI module. That is not a worry at all. Chalo, can we go ahead and start the music today, everyone? Quickly give me a heads up. Can we start the music? Yes, people. Quick, 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 everyone. Yes, we can start the music. Okay, chalo, good to go. All right, let's go ahead and start our class now, people. Today we will go ahead. Today we will go ahead and start with a quick revision. Everyone over here with me now. Quickly, people, with me quickly. Whenever goods and services are being supplied, I went ahead and told you whenever goods and services are being supplied, supply can be either interstate or supply can be either intrastate. Interstate or intrastate, GST will be levied. We had gone ahead and learned till here yesterday. Can you tell me section numbers? Let's go ahead and revise the section number. Section number 252. If you remember, very good. If you don't remember, don't worry about it. Okay, everyone? Okay, sir. Goods section number 252. Services section number 2102. Goods means every kind of movable property other than money and securities, but includes actionable claim, growing crops, grass, and things attached to the land which are agreed to be severed before supply or under a contract of supply. Everyone, you have to repeat with me. Whenever I am revising, you'll have to repeat with me. Now, services. Services means anything other than goods, money, and securities, but includes activities relating to use of money, its conversion from one form to another, one currency to another, one denomination to another, for which separate consideration is charged. Yes, sir. We remember that. So, then here we had gone ahead and seen one explanation was there. Services includes facilitating or arranging transactions in securities. Yes, sir, we remember. Now, goods and service has to be supplied. Now, when I say supply, supply section number 7 was there. Section number 7 went ahead and told about supply. Supply ka section number 7.1, section number 7.1a, section number 7.2 and section number 7.3. I hope you guys remember. Section number 7.1 had 7.1a, 7.1b and 7.1c. 7.1a told all forms for a consideration in the course of furtherance of business. 7.1b told importation of service, business, non-business, both will be considered as supply. 71C, 4 transactions which are told in schedule 1 without consideration also shall be considered as supply. What are the 4 transactions? Permanent transfer of business asset where ITC has been availed on such asset. Number 2, supply between related person or distinct person. Supply between related person or distinct person. The third one was principal to agent, and so yeah, okay, 71C was without consideration. Okay, Arjun, done. Next, then permanent transfer, related person, distinct person, principal to agent, and importation of service from related person or own establishment in the course of business. Yes sir. Section number 71A, schedule 2 mein you have to go ahead and see whether it is supply of goods or supply of service. Section number 72A went ahead and told about Camel G. Camel G wala services are neither supply of goods nor supply of service. 72B went ahead and told about 72B went ahead and told central government, state government, local authority ka those activities which are done as public authorities, neither supply of goods nor supply of service. Notified activities are panchayat ka 243G and municipality ka 243W. I hope you guys remember. And state government supplying alcoholic liquor license. Yes sir, we remember. Section number 73 was total bakwas, just a power with the government. Supply section number 8. Section number 8A, 8B. 8A went ahead and told about composite supply. B told about mixed supply. Composite supply, principal supply ka rate will apply. Mixed supply, highest rate will apply. I hope you guys remember. Yes sir. Then supply can be interstate, intrastate. Intra means within the same state. Intra means within the same state, within the same union territory. We will charge CGST and HGST and CGST and UTGST. Interstate supply, then it is always different state, different UT, one state to one UT, or different country, then it is always interstate, and interstate may we always go ahead and charge IGST. Yes sir, we always remember. So here, then GST was levied. Whenever goods and services are being supplied inter or intra, GST will be levied. GST ka levy, can you guys tell me the section number, everyone? Yes sir, section number 9 was there. Section number 9 had 9.1, 9.2, 9.3, 9.4 and section number 9.5. 9.1 went ahead and told about normal levy which was there. Yes sir. 9.2 went ahead and told about section number 9.2 HP man. 9.3 told about RCM in case of diagrams. I hope you guys remember. Yes sir. Yes sir, we do remember. If you don't remember, you can see the previous revisionary video which is there. 9.4 which is there, again reverse charge mechanism. 9.5 e-commerce operator, not applicable for your intermediate level. But very important is this RCM wala entry. You will have a question from this. You will have a question from this. So I am telling supply chapter you will have a question, and RCM entry you will have a question. So your 6 to 8 marks are already secured. Everyone over here now. Whenever goods and services are supplied interstate or intrastate, GST will be levied. But some people went ahead and told, sir, we don't want this normal levy. Sir, take input tax credit, charge output tax, output minus input setting off. This is too difficult. We want to go ahead. You please give us a simpler scheme which is there. And government went ahead and gave them a simple scheme. And the name of the simple scheme was composition levy. Composition levy. Under section number 10, government went ahead and gave them composition levy. Please come to the next chart which is on composition levy now. Composition levy section number 10. Right everyone, very good. Chalo, composition levy. See, this is the condition of the person. He told, sir, because of coming of GST, this is my situation. Please sir, I don't want to take input tax. I don't want to charge output. I don't want to go ahead and set up any input and output and pay the GST. You tell me a simpler scheme where I just have to pay little amount and close it. So government went ahead and told, you take composition scheme. Is everyone with me? Quickly give me a heads up. Can we go ahead? Yes, sir. Okay, chalo, let's go ahead and continue now. Everyone over here. See, so this, first of all, you always have to remember whether a person is eligible for composition, whether a person is eligible for composition or not eligible for composition, you will have to go ahead and see his previous year ka turnover. Everyone over here, previous financial year, if one person is there whose aggregate turnover is less than equal to 1.5 crore, you will have to see Aggregate turnover means pan wise across India का turnover has to be seen. Aggregate turnover का definition next chapter में we'll go ahead and discuss. Okay, as of now you take his turnover across India has to be seen. So sir, it is going ahead and telling over here. 1 minute. Yes. Huh. It is going ahead and telling over here that sir, once a person का previous year का turnover is less than equal to 1.5 crore, 1.5 crore or 75 lakh, 50 lakh, I'll go ahead and discuss later. You don't cut, I have cut. You don't cut in the chart. So aggregate turnover is less than equal to 1.5 crore or 75 lakh. Sir, 1.5 crore in which state? If you are in the state of Hoja, sir, what do you mean by Hoja? H-O-J-A. H means Himachal Pradesh. Okay, I will tell you about Mantus first. What do you mean by Mantus? Okay, M-A-N-T-U-S. I'll talk about Mantus first. What do you mean by Mantus? M means Meghalaya, Manipur and Mizoram. A means Arunachal Pradesh. N means Nagaland. T means Tripura. U means Uttarakhand. S means Sikkim. So, if you are from the states of Meghalaya, Manipur, Mizoram, if you are there who is going ahead and having operations, basically, if you are operating from the states of Meghalaya, Manipur, Mizoram, Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, Tripura, Uttarakhand and Sikkim, then for you the applicable limit is 75 lakhs rupees. So for you, you can go ahead and take composition levy if your turnover was up to 7.75 lakh rupees. If it exceeds 75 lakh, then you will become ineligible. Okay, sir. So for this state, Mantus, you will have to see 75 lakh. Hoja is Himachal Pradesh. Any other states? J is Jammu and Kashmir and A is Assam. So it is Mantus and Hoja. Mantus में 75 lakh, Hoja में 1.5 CR. Always remember this. Okay, sir. So if my turnover in the preceding financial year was less than equal to 1.5 crore or 75 lakh, always remember whenever you are taking last year ka turnover, please exclude interest, because interest is a exempt supply. They have specifically gone ahead and told that if your last year ka turnover includes interest, that has to be ignored. For an example, I am from the state of Assam. Assam के लिए turnover limit applicable is 1.5 crore. Okay, but now I'll talk about the preceding financial year. Okay, in my preceding financial year, my turnover which was there was 1.4 crore plus I had interest income of 20 lakh rupees. Can you tell me what is the aggregate turnover for the purpose of composition? If I ask you what is my aggregate turnover for the purpose of composition levy, interest is an exempt supply, right everyone? Yes, sir. Interest is an exempt supply. Can you tell me what is my turnover when I am going ahead and asking you my preceding financial year ka turnover? Sir, preceding financial year ka turnover mein interest is to be excluded. Your turnover becomes 1.5 crore. Am I eligible in the current financial year? Am I eligible in the current financial year? Yes, sir. You are eligible for composition levy. I hope everyone is clear. Yes, sir. We are clear with this. Always remember, sir, what if I am there in the state of Mantus also and Hoja also? Might be I have business in Meghalaya also and Assam also. Always remember, for you the aggregate turnover limit now applicable will be lower limit, which is 75 lakh. Okay, sir, done. Now, let's go ahead. So, sir, in the preceding financial year, if my turnover is 1.5 crore or 75 lakh, this 50 I am cutting, you don't cut. To check eligibility, exclude always interest and discount. Now, in the current financial year, you will become eligible. In the current financial year, you will become eligible to opt for composition levy. If you are going ahead and opting for composition levy, always remember, for an example, I have two businesses, one in Assam, one in Meghalaya. Then Baba, both have to come under composition together or both have to go out of composition together. Always remember, both have to come in together or both have to go out together. Okay, sir. So pan wise, all India has to go ahead and all India you will have to go ahead and opt together. Okay, sir. Now, when I am a person, who are the people who are eligible for composition? They are going ahead and telling eligible person is manufacturer, trader, and restaurant. Who is a person who is eligible for composition? Manufacturer, trader, or restaurant. And sir, how much will he pay? Government went ahead and told you don't take ITC, you don't go ahead and charge any output tax. Just go ahead and pay of your turnover just 1%. So manufacturer will pay 0.5% and 0.5% of the turnover. Trader will pay 0.5% of the taxable supplies which are there. I will talk about it. And 0.5%. Restaurant will pay 2.5 and 2.5. It is his own obligation. He cannot go ahead and collect it from the customer. What he is going ahead and paying this 1%, 1% or 5%, you can't go ahead and collect it from your customer. You will have to go ahead and pay it out of your own pocket. Now, sir, what do you mean by this? Trader has to pay on his taxable turnover. Everyone over here. When you calculate your aggregate turnover includes aggregate turnover. If you go ahead and calculate taxable supply, supposingly you have done 70 lakh. Okay. Exempt supply, you have gone ahead and done 30 lakh. So if I am going ahead and talking about a manufacturer has to go ahead and pay on the aggregate turnover which is there. Not on the aggregate turnover. Supposingly, I am telling in the state of Karnataka, one manufacturer is there. Then his turnover in the state of Karnataka is how much? 1 crore. He will have to go ahead and pay 1% of his 1 crore amount which is there. For an example, so this is about a manufacturer. If a trader is there, trader will not go ahead and pay on the exempt supply which is there. Trader will pay only on what amount, everyone? Can you guys quickly tell me? Trader will pay only on which amount? Trader will go ahead and pay only on his taxable supply which is 70 lakh ka 1%. I hope everyone is clear. Restaurant, again, restaurant has to pay on the turnover only. So restaurant will pay on 1 crore. I hope everyone is clear. Manufacturer, trader, if restaurant is there, restaurant will have to pay on the total turnover which is 1 crore. Okay. Always remember one thing: manufacturer, trader and restaurant. Yashika says CMA के लिए भी, Yashika madam, GST is same whether you are doing CA, CS or CMA, right? Everyone over here, manufacturer, trader, restaurant. Manufacturer has to pay 0.5 and 0.5. Trader will pay only on the taxable supply. Restaurant will also pay on the turnover which is the complete amount. Okay, sir. Always remember you have to go ahead and pay it out of your own pocket. You cannot go ahead and collect it from your customer. Now, sir, if I am an eligible person, if you go ahead and buy from a supplier who is registered, you will not get any ITC because you only agreed. You told, sir, give me a simpler scheme. So government told, okay, simpler scheme, don't take ITC. You will not get any ITC. When you are going ahead and supplying, you cannot go ahead and collect tax. Means when you are going ahead and supplying from the customer, you can't go ahead and collect tax. Issue bill of supply, and recipient whom you are going ahead and selling, because you have not collected any tax from him, you will issue him a bill of supply. And bill of supply is a normal bill. In the bill, you will not go ahead and charge. In the bill, we will not go ahead and charge any tax. In the bill, we will not go ahead and charge any tax. So when we are not charging any tax, front party will not be able to take the credit also. I hope everyone is clear till here. Quickly give me a heads up. Is everyone clear till here? Can we go ahead, everyone? Siddharth, please text in the Telegram group. Doubts, you will have to text in the Telegram group. Whatever I have explained, is the point clear till here? Yes, sir. Okay, chalo, let's go ahead. Everyone over here. So what did I tell you till now? I am going ahead and telling in the preceding financial year, my turnover which is there, in the preceding financial year, my turnover which is there is up to 1.5 crore or 75 lakh. 75 lakh in case of Mantus. Then in the current financial year, you have an option. Option is to go ahead and opt for composition levy. Option is to go ahead and opt for composition levy. Composition levy, when you are taking pan wise across India, you will have to go ahead and opt together. 1 minute. Across India, you will have to go ahead and opt together. Okay. Now, if I am a person who is eligible people are manufacturer, trader, restaurant. Manufacturer pays 1%, trader pays 1% of the taxable turnover which is there. Restaurant pays 5%. It is his own obligation. He cannot go ahead and collect it from the customer. So when you are buying the goods, you will not get any ITC. When you are going ahead and supplying, you will have to go ahead and issue bill of supply. Front party will never get the credit. Always remember, you will issue bill of supply. You will never give a tax invoice. Tax invoice you will never give. Okay, everyone, because you are a composition dealer. Now, if you are a composition dealer, when you are going ahead and buying those, okay, you entered into GTA ka service. Always remember, you whenever 9.3 and 9.4 reverse charge mechanism is applicable. Supposingly, I am a manufacturer who has gone ahead and taken GTA ka service. You will have to go ahead and pay at applicable rate. 5% GTA pe reverse charge is applicable. You will have to pay 5%. Always remember, reverse charge also you will not get any ITC. Reverse charge means if you have taken supposedly GTA ka service, on that you have to pay reverse charge, pay under reverse charge, and also you will not get any credit. Okay, sir. Now, who are the people who are ineligible? Sir, the people who are ineligible, I'll go ahead and tell over here. You have to always remember, ineligible people are MINES. M for manufacturer. M for manufacturer of PAIT. P means pan masala. A for aerated water. I for ice cream, and T for tobacco. So who are the people who are ineligible? Number one, M. M means manufacturer of PAIT. Pan masala, aerated water, ice cream, and tobacco. Always remember, manufacturers are ineligible. It means traders are eligible. Only manufacturers are ineligible. Okay, sir. I for interstate supplier. Interstate supplier of goods. This time ka amendment is the word and services also has been added. So if you are an interstate supplier of goods or services, you will become ineligible for composition scheme. Always remember, interstate supplier of goods was already there. The word and services now has been added. This time ka amendment this is the first amendment which I am going ahead and telling you guys. This time they have gone ahead and added the words and services over here. Okay, sir. And for NRTP or CTP, NRTP, non-resident taxable person, or casual taxable person are also ineligible. Plus non-taxable goods, if you are supplying goods, then also you are ineligible, and this time the word and services also has been added. So if you are a non-taxable goods or services ka supplier, both the cases mein you are ineligible. See over here, I have gone ahead and added the words. Okay, everyone. Okay, sir, you are writing and. No, baba, and nahi. You can write over here or. ठीक है? Okay, sir. So who are the people who are ineligible? Number one, manufacturer of PAIT. I for interstate supplier. If you are supplying interstate supplier is ineligible. Number one, manufacturer of PAIT. So, sir, trader is eligible? Yes, Baba, trader is eligible. Number two, interstate supplier of goods or service is ineligible. Interstate means one state to another state if you are supplying. My question is, if you are buying, are you eligible? Yes, Baba, you can buy from one state to another. Means you can purchase from other state. You can't supply to other state. Next. NRTP, non-resident taxable person and a casual taxable person is also ineligible. Non-taxable goods or service ka supplier is also ineligible. Then we have E for e-commerce. Sir, if you are a person supplying through e-commerce, ठीक है? If you are a person who is going ahead and supplying, supposingly I am supplying through Flipkart will go ahead and deduct TCS. So they are going ahead and telling you will become ineligible. So they are going ahead and telling over here, person supplying goods. Now the word and or services also has been added. So earlier it was goods. Now the word or services also has been added over here. These three is the amendment. Earlier these words were not there. Now they have gone ahead and added the word or services over there. Okay. S means service provider. Service providers are also ineligible. Service providers are also ineligible to go ahead and opt for composition levy. See over here, everyone. Other than, except restaurant or catering wala service provider. Now, people over here. Who are the people who are ineligible? M is manufacturer of PAIT, pan masala, aerated water, ice cream, and tobacco. I for interstate outward supplier of goods. Amendment, or services word has been added. So you can't supply interstate, taxable supply also, exempt supply also, branch transfer, nothing you can do it. You can purchase from other state, that is okay. Next, supplier of non-taxable goods or service word has been added. N for NRTP also is here. E for e-commerce, supplying. If I am a person who is supplying through Flipkart, Amazon, etc., I'll become ineligible because they will go ahead and deduct TCS over there. I'll become ineligible to opt for composition levy. N for now. Sir, can I go ahead and supply through my own portal? Yes, Baba, you can go ahead and supply through your own portal. There is no restriction on supplying through own portal. That is okay. Next, S for service providers are also ineligible except restaurant and catering service provider. Now, this word you don't cut, I am cutting. I'll explain after some time. Note, no limit on interstate procurement of goods. You can go ahead and procure from other state, that there is no restriction. Is everyone clear till here? Can we go ahead? Quickly tell me, give me a heads up. Are we all clear till here? Can we go ahead, people? Is everyone with me till here? Yes, sir. Okay, chalo, let's go ahead. So I went ahead and told you in composition, in the preceding financial year, my turnover is up to, in the preceding financial year, my turnover which is there is up to 75 lakh or 75 lakh or 1 crore. Sir, what is that note? Baba, you read. It is plain English. No limit on interstate procurement of goods. Means you can go ahead and buy from other state. So, Mok, it is written in English only over here. I have already explained this note. Can we go ahead, everyone? Yes, sir. In the preceding financial year, my turnover which is there is up to 1.5 crore or 75 lakh. In the current financial year, I have an option. Option is to opt for composition levy. PAN wise, all India I'll have to opt together. Eligible person are MTR. Ineligible is mines which is there. Okay, sir. Next. Chalo. Now, sir, if I am a person, I am eligible to go for composition scheme. How do I go ahead and do it? Sir, if you are going ahead and taking a new registration, when you are taking a registration, there is part A of the GST REG 011 form is there, and there is part B. In part B, you have an option to tick saying I want composition. If you go ahead and tick, and you will get composition scheme. That's it. Now, if you are a person who is switching to composition, you have to go online. And so, sir, I was a normal person here. From this year, I want composition scheme. If you want to switch from normal scheme to composition scheme, how do you switch? They are going ahead and telling you have to file one intimation prior to the commencement of financial year in CMP D02. So, before 1 year is going to start, I'll have to go ahead and file online CMP 02, which is a composition levy ka opting ke liye one form is there, which you will have to go ahead and file. Sir, file intimation prior to commencement of financial year in CMP 02. One intimation PAN wise, not state wise. For an example, I am there in Karnataka also, I am there in Tamil Nadu also. If I file one intimation from the state of Karnataka, whole India, across India, all the registrations which are there will come under composition. I don't have to go to every state and file under composition. Under my PAN, whatever registrations are there, all will come under composition together. Okay, sir. Next. Sir, what is this one? Baba, this one you will be talking in the chapter of ITC. This below wala portion, not now. In the chapter of ITC, when we are talking, you will be able to understand, not now. Next. Now, if you come over here, they have gone ahead and told, if you are a manufacturer, if you are a trader, or you are a restaurant, what happened? Manufacturer, trader, restaurant wala went ahead and told the government, I am a manufacturer of supposedly television. Sir, I go ahead and repair little television also. But sir, you have told that service providers are ineligible. Can you see over here? If you are a service provider, you will become ineligible. Now, I am a manufacturer of television. It can definitely happen that manufacturer of television can go ahead and repair the television also little. Might be a person who is going ahead and selling a mobile phone. He would go ahead and repair that mobile phone also. So, government went ahead and told, if you are a manufacturer, trader, restaurant, MTR, you are allowed to supply services. How much services you can go ahead and supply? 10% of the turnover, excluding interest, in the preceding financial year, or 5 lakh, whichever is higher. Everyone over here. If your turnover, supposingly, in the preceding financial year, I am there in the state of Karnataka, my taxable supply, or I'll say my turnover which is there is 40 lakh rupees, my interest income which is there 20 lakh rupees. Can you tell me in the current financial year I am supplying mobile phone, how much repair services also I can give? They are going ahead and telling last year का turnover का you exclude interest, last year का turnover का please you can go ahead and give only 10%. 10% means 4 lakh or 5 lakh, whichever is higher. How much? So in this current financial year you can provide service also. Little services now has been allowed. How much little service? 5 lakh rupees ka service you will be able to provide. Is the point clear to all? Quickly give me a heads up. Did you guys understand this point over here, everyone? Quickly give me a heads up. Did everyone understand the point? You'll have to like the video, everyone. Quickly like the video. I'll be able to understand that everybody understood the point. Quick, everyone. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We understood. Chalo, let's go ahead. Everyone over here now. So, how much? Sir, supposingly, I am in the state of Karnataka and I am in the state of Tamil Nadu. I'll give two state ka example. Okay. Here I am doing, here my turnover and interest income I'll write separately. 30 lakh rupees, interest income is 10 lakh rupees. Tamil Nadu mein my turnover 40 lakh rupees, interest income which is there. This turnover does not include interest. Okay. Interest I am writing differently over here. Interest income is 20 lakh rupees. Can you tell me this was the preceding financial year? Current financial year mein how much services I can go ahead and provide, everyone? How much services I can go ahead and provide in the current financial year? Please leave interest portion. 30 lakh ka 10% which is 3 lakh. Okay, I'll write 60 lakh over here. Okay, 3 lakh or 5 lakh whichever is higher means in the state of Karnataka I can provide 5 lakh ka services. Can you tell me in the state of Tamil Nadu how much amount ka services I can go ahead and provide? In the state of Tamil Nadu, how much amount ka services I can go ahead and provide? Can you guys quickly tell me, everyone? In the state of, if it exceeds 5 lakh, entire 5 lakh or excess taxable, sir. Baba, if it exceeds 5 lakh, you will not be eligible. Siddharth, you will not be eligible for composition scheme because under section number 10(1), MTR can provide maximum only that much. So you'll become ineligible under section number 10(1). See, how much is this? 6 lakh over here or 5 lakh, whichever is higher, means 6 lakh in the state of Tamil Nadu and in the state of Karnataka 5 lakh. Now, everyone over here. So MTR is allowed to provide services up to 10% of turnover in a state. So whatever is the turnover in a state, of that turnover ka 10% or 5 lakh, whichever is higher. Everyone over here now, excluding interest. So last year ka turnover when you are seeing, please exclude the interest in the preceding financial year or 5 lakh, whichever is higher. So if you see over here on the right hand side, it is told service provider except restaurant and providing up to 10% or 5 lakh. So if you go ahead and cross that 10% or 5 lakh, you will become ineligible as a manufacturer, trader or restaurant wala. Now, after going ahead, okay, now tell me one thing. When I am going ahead and seeing this 5 lakh or 6 lakh, I can provide how much? 5 lakh. For an example, I am a person going ahead and repairing mobile phone in the state of Karnataka. In the state of Karnataka, I can repair mobile phone up to 5 lakh. Supposingly, this year ka repairing is 4.5 lakh plus this year I have received 1 lakh rupees ka interest also. Does this 5 lakh, because interest is an exempt supply of service. Now this 5 lakh, does it include interest also or it is purely talking about that mobile wala services? Can you tell me, everyone, this 5 lakh or this 6 lakh which I can go ahead and provide, does it include interest also? No. Again, you have to exclude interest. It means only 4.5 lakh is your turnover of services in the current year. Always remember, first, last year ka turnover when you are taking, exclude interest. Once you have calculated, in that calculated amount also, you should never go ahead and include interest. Is the point clear to all? It means 6 lakh is purely mobile ka services which I am going ahead and doing. Any interest income will not be included. 5 lakh is purely mobile ka service which I am doing, exclude interest. Always remember, always exclude interest. Is the point clear to all? Can we go ahead, everyone? Yes, people, quickly tell me, is the point clear to all? Yes, sir, the point is clear. Chalo, let's go ahead. Everyone over here. After calculating 10% of 5 lakh, whichever is higher, exclude interest or discount in the current financial year. Now, this one you have to cut. This one you have to cut, Baba. This line which is written, please cut this line. Please cut this line. This line is not required. Whatever is your turnover, if you are a manufacturer, please pay 1%. If you are a trader, please pay 1%. If you are a restaurant wala, please go ahead and pay 5%. That's it. Now, if you are a composition dealer, can you tell me what are the returns you will be going ahead and filing? For the example, April, May and June. I am going ahead and talking about April, May and June. You have to go ahead and file your return, right? Sir, which are the returns I'll go ahead and file? Here. April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. Okay. Now everyone over here. If you are a person under composition, for this quarter you have to go ahead and file GSTR 4 by 18th of July. I am telling wrong now so that I can go ahead and correct. I'll tell you the correct one. Now I am telling the wrong one. July, August, September, you have to go ahead and pay your tax. Pay tax. And you file what? GSTR 4. Here also pay tax. File GSTR 4 by 18th of October. Here also again you have to pay tax. GSTR 4 by 18th July, October, 18th of January. Again pay tax. File GSTR 4 by 18th of April. Okay, everyone. But now what happened? Government went ahead and told, people went ahead and told the government, every month, every quarter, we don't want to file these returns, sir. Please make it annual. So government went ahead and told, okay, you do one thing. You don't have to file GSTR 4, GSTR 4, GSTR 4, GSTR 4. What you can do is you can pay your tax by 18th and file CMP 08, which is just an intimation to the government that we have gone ahead and paid our taxes. Again, don't file GSTR 4. Pay your tax by 18th and file CMP 08. Pay your tax and file CMP 08 by 18th January. Pay your tax and file CMP 08 by 18th of April. And sir, GSTR 4 by 30th April, you can file only one GSTR 4. I hope everyone is clear. And now, so for the whole year, you will file only one GSTR 4, which is by 30th of April. And you know what? For them, there is an annual return which is there. For the whole year, there is one more return which is known as the annual return. Sir, annual return when they have to file by 31st December in GSTR 9A, which is their annual return. I hope everyone is clear. Here we are done with your returns relating to composition scheme. What are the returns which a composition dealer has to go ahead and file? Is the point clear to all? Quickly give me a heads up, everyone. Yes, sir, we are clear. Payment. Quarterly you have to go ahead and file CMP 08 and pay by 18. Return, which is GSTR 4, annually by 30th April. So quarterly CMP 08, CMP 08, CMP 08, CMP 08. And annually you have to go ahead and file GSTR 4, which was the quarterly return made annual. And annual return is GSTR 9A, which is to be filed by 31st of December. So GSTR 9A by 31st December. Next. Whenever you are going ahead and issuing your bill, in your bill you will have to go ahead and say you are a composition dealer. So mention in your bill that you are a composition taxable person and you are not eligible, because when you are issuing the bill, the front party will go ahead and ask you, sir, why are you not going ahead and charging tax? You will have to tell them, sir, I am not going ahead and charging tax because I am a composition taxable person. So instead of telling, please write in the bill only. Next. When you are a composition dealer, in your head, basically the notice board which is there, not head, literally not head, the notice board of your shop which is there, or the signboard at the principal place or additional place of business which is there, please go ahead and tell there that I am a composition dealer, so that anyone who is entering your shop can know that you are a composition dealer, and he doesn't enter only if he wants credit, because composition dealer will not give tax invoice. So you should write in your notice board only that you are a composition taxable person. Next. Sir, this intimation CMP02 that I want composition, do I have to file every year? No, Baba. Once you have to file and it will continue. Next, applicability. Whenever you are going ahead and seeing whether you are eligible for composition scheme or not, you will have to see turnover. Yes, sir. So, sir, if my Karnataka ka turnover is 10 lakh and my Tamil Nadu ka turnover is 30 lakh, when I am going ahead and saying whether I am eligible for composition or not, people, can you tell me, when you are going ahead and checking whether you are eligible for composition or not, you will see aggregate turnover 40 lakh rupees or you will see state-wise turnover? Are you guys clear over here? Will you go ahead and see aggregate turnover or state-wise turnover? You will go ahead and see aggregate turnover. Whenever you are going ahead and seeing whether you are eligible for composition or not, you will have to see always aggregate turnover. Sir, when I am making the payment, current financial year, supposingly my turnover in the state of Karnataka is 5 lakh and in the state of Tamil Nadu it is 10 lakh. Will I have to go ahead and make the payment on aggregate turnover or only on the turnover? So in Karnataka on 5 lakh you will pay, in Tamil Nadu on 10 lakh you will go ahead and pay. So when you are going ahead and making the payment always has to be state-wise turnover. Compliance means you will have to maintain your returns record. Always state-wise you will have to go ahead and file your return. State-wise you will have to make the payment. State-wise you will have to maintain your accounts and records also. Okay, sir. Now everyone, my question to you guys. I started my business. Everyone here now. I started my business. This is the year 1920. This is 1st of April. I started my business. Up to, for an example, I am a supplier of goods. Up to what turnover I don't have to take registration? 40 lakh. Up to 40 lakh, I don't have to take registration. Okay, everyone. For an example, I am a supplier of goods. For me, the applicable turnover is 40 lakh. Up to 40 lakh, I don't have to take registration. Sir, now my question to you guys is, this is 40 lakh rupees over here. And this is the remaining turnover over here is 60 lakh rupees and interest income. Okay, I am telling here the turnover is 40 lakh. Interest income is 20 lakh. Okay, this I will not talk about interest. It is why to confuse. And 10 lakh. Can you tell me what is my preceding financial year ka turnover on which I have to go ahead and pay tax? Can you tell me composition tax? Because this is my first year of operation. Up to this date, up to supposedly 30th June, I did not cross 40 lakh. From 1st of July, I went ahead and crossed 40 lakh rupees. Can you tell me on what amount I have to go ahead and pay the tax? Sir, up to 40 lakh though, because you are not liable for registration, you will not pay. But after 40 lakh, whatever was your turnover, that is 60 lakh rupees, on that you will have to go ahead and pay the tax. I hope everyone is clear. But interest income anyways you will not pay. Can you tell me this current financial year, when I am going ahead and seeing the last year ka turnover, the last year ka aggregate turnover, what is last year ka aggregate turnover? Can you tell me? When I am checking whether I am eligible for composition or not in the current year, what is the last year ka aggregate turnover? Last year ka aggregate turnover is last year completely you will have to see, which is 60 lakh plus 40 lakh excluding interest, which is 1 crore rupees. I hope everyone is clear. Yes, sir, we got the point. So, sir, whenever you are going ahead and checking tax payable turnover in the state shall exclude supplies from 1st April up to the date of becoming liable. Whenever on what amount you have to pay tax, you are checking, sir, from 1st of April up to the date of becoming liable, whatever is your turnover, that has to be excluded, because you have not become liable only to pay tax. You will not go ahead and pay any tax on that amount. Okay. Also on this, you remember, please exclude interest and discount. Okay, sir, interest and discount also has to be excluded. It means you will pay tax only on 60 lakh. Next, for determining eligibility, now next year when I am checking whether I am eligible for composition or not, then aggregate turnover shall include supplies from 1st April up to the date of becoming liable. It means this turnover also has to be included. This too will be included only. This also will be included, and hence it will become 1 CR. Quickly give me a like. Everyone, quickly like the video if you understood the concept. Can we go ahead, everyone? Is the point clear till here? And for both the point, I have gone ahead and told, please go ahead and exclude interest or discount. Please go ahead and quickly let me know if you guys are clear with this. Is the point clear to all, everyone? Yes, everyone. Yes, sir. Point is clear. Let's go ahead. Everyone over here now. Now, if you see, people listen to me very carefully. I was going ahead and carrying on composition. Now, suddenly what happened? Here, I went ahead and for an example, 31st of December or 1st of January. 1st of January, I went ahead and crossed. 1st of January, I went ahead and crossed the threshold limit. 1.5 crore or 75 lakh, I crossed it. Or I voluntarily want to withdraw. Or I violated one condition. Then they are going ahead and telling, for an example, this is 1st of January. 1st of January, I crossed the turnover. Or I went ahead and violated a condition. Then they are going ahead and telling, now onwards, please, you are becoming a normal person because you are no more composition. Please go ahead and take ITC and charge tax also. Okay, sir, got the point. Now, people remember one thing, whenever you are opting in for composition, you file CMP02. Whenever you are opting out, you will have to file CMP04. CMP02 to opt in, to go out, it is CMP04. Within how many days? 7 days, you will have to go ahead and file. Yes, sir, the point is clear. You will have to go ahead and file CMP04. Siddharth, Telegram group for doubts. I have told you again and again. Can we go ahead, everyone? Always remember one thing. Always remember one thing. When you are checking aggregate turnover, you have to exclude interest. Siddharth, you will have to exclude interest or discount. Next, which is basically when you are going ahead and giving loans and advance, you will go ahead and receive interest. That interest is an exempt supply. You will have to go ahead and exclude. Can I go ahead? When you are going ahead and giving someone loans and advance, you will have to, you'll receive interest or discount. Those interest or discount they are telling has to be excluded. Next, we are not talking about that discount which is there, which a person goes ahead and offers when he is going ahead and selling. So if I am going ahead and selling something and I am offering that discount we are not talking here. We are talking about the interest which you are going ahead and giving loans and advance and you are receiving interest. Next, this one you will be understanding when we are going ahead and talking ITC ka chapter. Okay, everyone, in the chapter of ITC we'll go ahead and discuss this part. Now, please come over here. Now, what happened? Government went ahead and told that you will get composition levy only if you are a person who is going ahead and supplying. You are a manufacturer, trader or restaurant wala. Now, supposingly chartered accountants went and told the government, sir, what wrong we have done? Please give us composition. Architect, sir, I am a service provider. Why are you not allowing composition? So government went ahead and told, if you are a person, see over here, this manufacturer, trader, restaurant wala which is told, no, that is told under section number 10.1. And this ineligibility which is told, no, that is told under section number 10.2. So if you are a person and you are not eligible in section number 10.1 or 10.2, people over here, if you are a person who is ineligible under section number 10.1 or 10.2, means you are ineligible for composition as a manufacturer, trader or restaurant, or might be I am in one state, I am going ahead and teaching. In the state of Karnataka, I am teaching. In the state of Tamil Nadu, I am selling goods. It means I am supplying goods also, I am supplying services also. I will become ineligible. Yes, everyone. So government went ahead and told, if you are a person who is a manufacturer, you can provide 10% of 5 lakh, whichever is higher. Means along with your manufacturing turnover, you are allowed to go ahead and provide little service. If you are a trader, along with your trading turnover, you are allowed to provide little service. Now, I am going ahead and telling the government, I am a pure service provider, architect, or I am a person who is going ahead and selling goods also. I am selling services also, and services is more than that turnover. 10% of 5 lakh means I am ineligible under section number 10.1 or 10.2. Then government went ahead and made section number 10.2A for you, and government told option to registered person whose aggregate turnover in the last year, if same, everything remains same. So if you want to go for section number 10.2A, you will have to go ahead and say your last year turnover was up to how much? Less than equal to 50 lakh in the preceding financial year excluding interest, and you are ineligible under section number 10.1, means you are ineligible as a manufacturer, trader, restaurant. Then you can go for section number 10.2A, which says you can go ahead and see sir, last year ka turnover was less than 1.5 crore. Supposingly I'm a chartered accountant, last year ka turnover was less than 50 lakh, not 1.5, 50 lakh or up to 50 lakh, then in the current financial year, I can go for section number 10.2a. Section number 10.2a says, Ramesh sir, just go ahead and pay 6%, means 3% CGST and 3% HGST. Would you like to come for this scheme? If you are eligible as a manufacturer, trader, restaurant, you will never come for section number 10.2a. Okay, sir. Now, if I am only a service provider or I am ineligible as a manufacturer, trader, restaurant, then I can go for this scheme. I have to pay 6% of the turnover, that is 3% CGST and 3% SGST, excluding interest. Condition is last year ka turnover should be less than 50 lakh or equal to 50 lakh, and you are ineligible as a manufacturer, trader, and restaurant. Sir, who are the people who are ineligible for section number 10.2? Section number 10.2a, who are the people who are ineligible? They have told MINE. As they have not told, because this is a scheme specifically for service provider, so they have not told, oh, scheme made for service provider, and you say service providers are ineligible. So they went ahead and told S is not there. M for who are the people who are ineligible for section number 10.2a? Manufacturer of PAIT, interstate outward supplier of goods and services. N for non-taxable goods and services का non-taxable goods and services का supplier or NRTP CTP. E for person supplying goods and services through e-commerce. Same thing over here. See, MINNE. So if you are a person who is MINE, then you will be ineligible for section number 10.2a also. Very important for your exam. Section number 10.2a. Is the point clear to all? Quickly give me a heads up. Did you guys understand this point? Section number 10.2a, is it clear to all? Can we go ahead, everyone? Yes, sir. Section number 10.2a is clear. Shall we go ahead? Yes, sir. Let's go ahead. Everyone over here now. Okay, chalo. Now, I have gone ahead and told, supposingly, everyone over here, supposingly, you were not eligible for composition, but you went ahead and took composition. You were doing interstate supply, but still you took composition. Proper officer came to know. Means the officer has come to know, then officer will go ahead and issue you a show cause notice. You will have to go ahead and reply to him, and then proper officer will go ahead and issue a order saying whether he wants to allow you composition or it wants to reject composition. This is just for your knowledge. It is not important at IPC level. What is it, sir? If you have gone ahead and taken composition in spite of proper officer has R to B, means reason to believe that registered person is not eligible under composition, then Baba he'll go ahead and issue you a notice. Once he goes ahead and issues you a notice, you will have to reply to him, and then he will decide whether to allow you composition or not to allow. If he goes ahead and rejects composition, then he will tell you, you paid only 1%, your goods pay 18% is there, 17% differential tax which is there, you pay along with penalty. This portion at intermediate level, not important. Okay, sir. Here I have gone ahead and just given one difference between normal scheme and composition scheme. Normal scheme is under section number 9, composition is under section number 10. Here normally the rate is 5, 12, 18, 30, 28%. Composition is 1%, 1%, 5% and 6%. Normally you make the payment by 20th of next month. Okay, composition may you go ahead and make the payment quarterly by 18th of next month. Return, here monthly return is GSTR 3B, annual return is GSTR 9. Here monthly return now it is return which is made annual, quarterly return which is made annual is GSTR 4, and annual return which is actually there is GSTR 9A. Okay, annual return is GSTR 9A. Document, here you issue tax invoice, composition, bill of supply. ITC can avail, here you cannot avail ITC. You just have to pay 1%, 1%, 5% or 6% in cash. Here we are done with your composition scheme, everyone. In my opinion, you should remember for your exam purpose this point. What is the turnover limit applicable? You should remember who are the people who are ineligible. You should go ahead and remember this section number 10.2a, and also you should remember how to calculate this 10% or 5 lakh, whichever is higher. Is everyone clear till here? Can we move to the next chapter now? Quickly tell me, Can we move to the next chapter, people? Yes, everyone. Yes, sir. We can go ahead and move to the next chapter now. People, over here. I went ahead and taught you composition scheme. What did we go ahead and start with? We started with goods and service. Goods and service has to be supplied. Supply can be, once goods and services are supplied, GST will be levied. GST will be levied. Some people went ahead and asked for composition levy. Composition levy, I have gone ahead and explained you in detail. Now, all you have to go ahead and do is go to your textbook and read the question answers. Read nahi, Baba, you will have to solve. You have to write with your own hand. Always remember, you will be able to score good in the exam only if you are going ahead and writing with your own hand. So, you will have to write all the answers with your own hand. Okay, sir. Whenever goods and services are being supplied, GST will be levied. Okay, sir. GST will be levied. The next is composition levy. Okay. Now, whenever goods and services are supplied, GST will be levied. Goods, section number 252. Services, section number 2102. Supply, section number 7. Supply, section number 8. GST ka levy, section number 9. I went ahead and told you. Composition levy, we just now went ahead and learned section number 10. Now, whenever good GST is levied, it has to be collected and paid. It has to be collected and paid. Yes, everyone. If you are not under composition scheme, you will collect GST and pay to the government. Now, here it says collected and paid only by a taxable person. Whoever is a taxable person, only that person will go ahead and collect and pay the GST to the government. So now, the next step comes where we are going to learn about taxable person. Okay, taxable person comes in section number 22, 23 and 24, which goes ahead and talks about people who are liable for registration. Only if you are liable for registration you are registered, you will collect GST and pay to the government. Before we go to this, please come to your amendment material, everyone. Please come to your amendment material, everyone. I want to cover the amendment material also along. If you guys have not downloaded the amendment material, you can go to rameshsoni.com. Free resources. Free resources में you will find over there November 21 CA Inter का November 21 folder. Over there you will be able to find the amendment material. See, if you go down in the amendment material, the first amendment is in the chapter of composition scheme. Composition scheme में what is the amendment, sir? Over here. If you guys remember, I told you people who are ineligible. Who are the people who are ineligible for composition scheme, everyone? If you go ahead and if you have my chart over here, yes sir, in the chart book, you will see over here, people who are ineligible are manufacturer of PIT, interstate outward supplier, non-taxable goods ka supplier, supplier of goods through e-commerce. Now, what happened? No, see. If you see section number 10 to A, no? Section number 10 to A में there was word services already there. Can you see over here? Services word was already there. But if you see section number 10 to A में word services were there. But section number 10 to में service word was missing. So they went ahead and added the word services also over here. Because the word services was missing, they went ahead and added the word services over here. That's all is the amendment. So now manufacturer of PIT, interstate outward supplier of goods or services, non-taxable goods or services, supplying goods or services through e-commerce will become ineligible. That's all is the amendment. Or services word has been added. That's all is the amendment. See, section number 10 to A mein to or services was already there. Section number 10 to mein these words were missing, which has now been added. That's all is the amendment over here. Now, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and now continue with our next chapter, everyone. Please come to your chart. Registration chart. Please come to your chart of registration. No, Harshita, these amendments which are there, these amendments are from 1st of November to 30th of April. Whatever the amendments are there, or I am discussing together only. If you have gone ahead and taken my class, which is for November 21 or December 21 exam, these amendments are already covered in the class, but still I am going ahead and talking about all the amendments because the amendments are important for your exam. 1st November 2000 and 20 to 30th April 2021. Whatever amendments have come, those are covered over here in the amendment material. All we will be discussing together in the class. Okay, everyone? People, is the point clear to all? Okay, chalo, next. Please come to your registration chart, everyone. Please come to the chart of registration, everyone. Now, registration, everyone over here. Registration, section number 22, 23 and 24. Section number 22, 20 and 24 we will be learning. Section number 22 says, who are the people who are liable? Person liable for registration. Section number 23 says people who are not liable for registration. Section number 24 talks about compulsory registration. Section number 22 talks about people who are liable for registration. Who are the people who are liable for registration? Now, section number 22 says supplier will be liable in the state or UT from where he makes taxable supplies when his aggregate turnover crosses 20 lakh. But if you see, what is the definition of aggregate turnover? Aggregate turnover. Aggregate means, if you see over here, I'll go ahead and talk about aggregate turnover. What do you mean by aggregate and what do you mean by turnover? Turnover means tie to taxable supplies, I for TIE square, interstate supplies, E for exempt supplies, E for exports. All are being included. Tie 2 taxable supplies are also included in your turnover. Interstate supplies are also included. Exempt supplies are also included. And exports are also included in your turnover. Turnover may, this is included. What is excluded from the turnover? Excluded from the turnover, somebody supplied me, everyone, somebody supplied me some goods or service. I went ahead and paid the GST under reverse charge. Is it my turnover? Quickly tell me one thing. Somebody went ahead and supplied me goods or service. Somebody went ahead and supplied me the goods and service. I went ahead and paid the GST under reverse charge. Is it my turnover? It is his turnover. It is not my turnover. Somebody supplied me. So, sir, inward supplies on which GST is paid under RCM is not my turnover. It has to be excluded. And always remember one thing, GST also is not my turnover. GST also has to be excluded. Always include in your turnover taxable supplies, interstate supplies, exempt and export. Exclude, somebody supplied me some goods and service on which I am going ahead and paying the GST under RCM. That is not my turnover. That is his turnover. Please go ahead and exclude inward supplies under RCM and also go ahead and exclude GST which is there. Next. So, sir, turnover has to be aggregated. So, every state ka turnover, you will have to go ahead and total. Basically, pan wise, you will have to go ahead and see your turnover. Pan wise. Pan wise means if I have 5 states mein registrations which are there, all the turnover has to be accumulated together. It has to be seen. Pan wise turnover has to be seen. Aggregate means pan wise on all India basis. Turnover you will include TIEE, taxable supplies, interstate supplies, exempt and export supplies. What are the things you will go ahead and exclude? Inward supplies under RCM has to be excluded and GST also has to be excluded. Next. Sir, if I am an agent, I am going ahead and supplying on behalf of principal. If I am issuing the invoice, it will come in my turnover. Principal went ahead and issued the invoice, it will come in the principal ka turnover. Always remember, if I am an agent supplying on behalf of principal, it will be included in my turnover because I would have gone ahead and issued the invoice in my name. But in the exam, if they go ahead and tell you that the principal had issued the invoice, then it will include in the principal ka turnover. Okay, sir. Include supplies made on behalf of the principal. So if I am an agent supplying on behalf of principal and I am issuing the invoice, it is my turnover. Next. Supply of goods by job worker include in the aggregate turnover of the principal. I sent the goods to a job worker made the goods ready. Now from his premises, if I went ahead and supplied something, that is my turnover because I am going to issue the invoice. So always remember, supply of goods by registered job worker from the registered job worker. I had sent one bottle to my job worker to paint it. He had painted and he had kept it ready. Now I found one buyer over there. I issued the invoice to the buyer. Now when I issue the invoice, that is my turnover. Next, outward supplies on which tax is payable under reverse charge mechanism include in the aggregate turnover. Tell me one thing. I went ahead and supplied something. Recipient will pay the GST under reverse charge. My turnover or his turnover? My turnover. Outward supplies on which recipient will pay the GST under reverse charge, that is my turnover, that is not his turnover. Outward supplies tax payable under reverse charge include in the aggregate turnover means it is my turnover and not the turnover of the buyer. Next, please come back. Who is the person who is liable? Sir, supplier is liable in the state or UT from where he makes taxable supplies. People give me 1 minute. I'll be back. Okay, everyone over here now. So we are going ahead and talking about who is liable. Supplier is liable in the state or UT from where he makes taxable supply if his aggregate turnover crosses how much? 20 lakh. So always remember, if my aggregate turnover crosses 20 lakh, I'll be liable for registration. Proviso, if you are going ahead and doing taxable supplies from special category state, you will be liable when your turnover crosses 10 lakh rupees. Special category state is M square NT. So if I am going ahead and supplying from special category state, sir, what do you mean by special category state? Special category state for the purpose of registration. Always remember, for the purpose of special category state, for the purpose of registration is M square NT. M square means Manipur, Mizoram, Nagaland and Tripura. Always remember, Manipur, Mizoram, Nagaland and Tripura is M square NT. If you are going ahead and supplying from M square NT, for you the applicable limit will be 10 lakh rupees. For you the applicable limit will be 10 lakh rupees. Everyone over here now. This is just the power with the government. Government, if special category state is going ahead and telling the government, please go ahead and increase my turnover limit from 10 to 20. Government can go ahead and increase from 10 to 20. Sir, government also has the power that if government wants, government can increase from 20 lakh to 40 lakh in case of supplier of goods. That power is there with the government. Now, I want to go ahead and tease this along with one notification which has come. Can you guys see over here? There is one notification which is there. Exclusive supplier of goods up to 40 lakh. Exclusive supplier of goods. If you are a person who is going ahead and supplying exclusively goods, then for you the turnover limit applicable is how much? 40 lakh rupees. Okay, everyone. Now, this you will have to understand after you go ahead and understand the compulsory registration. So first you have to understand compulsory registration, then you will have to go ahead and understand this along with this. Now listen everyone. Section number 23 which is there, section number 23, government has the power to go ahead and exempt some people. If you read section number 23, section number 23(2), government has the power that government can go ahead and notify category of person who are exempted from registration. Notified category of person will be exempted from registration. This power is there with the government. Okay. And now what a government has done, first government went ahead and told people have to take compulsory registration. People, I will come back to section number 22. First we have to understand section number 24. Then we'll come back to section number 22. As of now in section number 22, I have just told you that you will be liable for registration when you go ahead and cross 20 lakh or 10 lakh. I have not gone ahead and spoken about 40 lakh. I will come to it. Don't worry about it. Now, who are the people who are required compulsory registration? First understand. What do you mean by compulsory registration? Even if you are going ahead and supplying for 1 rupee, you will be required compulsory registration. Notwithstanding anything contained in section number 22(1), following persons are required compulsory registration means you have to take compulsory registration. Who are the one? So, person making interstate taxable supply. If you are going ahead and supplying from one state to another, interstate taxable supplies, if you are going ahead and making, you will be required compulsory registration. But then some people went ahead and started crying, and government used the power under section number 22, and government went ahead and exempted some people. So government first of all went ahead and told Ramesh, if you are an interstate supplier, you will be required compulsory registration. But sir, interstate supplier of goods also was required compulsory registration. Services also was required compulsory registration as per section number 24. But then government used the power under section number 22, and government went ahead and exempted some people. These are the two exemptions which I have written over here also. If you are a person who is supplying handicraft goods or craftsman goods, then you are exempted up to 20 lakh or 10 lakh rupees. Sir, if I am going ahead and supplying other goods, Baba, if you are supplying any other goods other than handicraft or craftsman good, then you will be required compulsory registration over here. Sir, interstate supplier of service, they were also required compulsory registration. They went and told the government, please leave us. So government went ahead and told. Here also, government went ahead and used the power under section number 23(2) and told interstate supplier of taxable services also exempted up to. So here also exempt up to 20 lakhs or 10 lakhs. Is the point clear to all? Quickly give me a heads up. Can we go ahead? Did you guys understand the point? Can we go ahead, everyone? Is the point clear to all? That sir, first government went ahead and told interstate, if you are going ahead and supplying compulsory registration. Then government went ahead and issued a notification, and government told if you are a supplier of goods, which is handicraft goods and craftsman goods, exempted. If you are a person who is a supplier of service, then also 20 lakh or 10 lakh you will be exempted. Is the point clear to all? Yes sir, the point is clear. So can you tell me who is required compulsory registration now? Interstate, if you are going ahead and supplying goods, plus you are not supplying handicraft goods, craftsman goods, then you will be required compulsory registration. Quickly give me a heads up and tell me, is the point clear to all? Did you guys understand? Can we go ahead, everyone? So how did the government go ahead and issue the exemption? Government used the power under section number 23, subsection 2. Yes sir, the point is clear. Let's go ahead. Everyone over here now. The second one. So handicraft goods, craftsman goods exempted up to 20 lakh or 10 lakh. Interstate supplier of taxable service exempt up to 20 lakh or 10 lakh. Sir, the next one who is required compulsory registration is casual taxable person. So if you are a person who is a casual taxable person is a person, for an example, there is an exhibition in the state of Karnataka. You are having a fixed establishment in the state of Delhi, and you are coming in Karnataka for the trade fair. So you are a casual taxable person over here. Government is going ahead and telling, if you are a casual taxable person, because you are so casual, you have to take compulsory registration. So if someone is in the state of Delhi, he is selling saris over there. He has come to the state of Karnataka in a trade fair. He has to take compulsory registration in the state of Karnataka before he goes ahead and starts business. Government is telling casual taxable person making taxable supply will be required to take compulsory registration, except there is an exemption which has been issued. Again, the government used the power under section number 22, and government went ahead and told, if you are a casual taxable person making handicraft goods ka supply, then you are exempted up to 20 lakh or 10 lakh. So if there is a handicraft supplier who is there, who is coming from other state to my state, then he will not be required compulsory registration. Only for handicraft supplier, government went ahead and told exempted up to 20 lakh or 10 lakh. Next. If you are a person who is required to pay tax under reverse charge, I hope you guys remember yesterday we had gone ahead and learned about reverse charge mechanism. Yes sir. So if I am a recipient who has to pay reverse charge my tax, how will I pay the tax? Government went ahead and told Ramesh, please take compulsory registration under section number 24 and pay the tax under reverse charge mechanism. For an example, there is a director who is there, and director went ahead and provided the services to the company. Who will pay the GST under reverse charge, everyone? There is an independent director who is there. Independent director went ahead and provided the services to the company. Fine. Varun, no. नहीं होगा वो फाइनल रिवीजन, सीए फाइनल रिवीजन इज ऑलरेडी अपलोडेड So company has to pay the GST under RCM. Okay, everyone. Now, government went ahead and told company, if you have to pay the tax under reverse charge, you will have to take compulsory registration. What about this director, everyone? Always the company is going to pay the GST under reverse charge. What about the director? Government went ahead and told director के लिए director has been exempt from registration under section number 23 subsection 2. Government went ahead and told, see over here, if you are a person who is liable to pay tax under reverse charge, you will have to go ahead and take compulsory registration. But person making taxable supply, tax is payable under reverse charge. Company is going to pay the whole tax. Why will I have to go ahead and take registration? Director was exempted, and even if I go ahead and cross the 20 lakh turnover, still I don't have to take registration, because anyways the company is going to pay this GST under reverse charge mechanism. We are talking about independent director. Okay, sir. So what did I tell you till now? I went ahead and told, if you are an interstate supplier, you will have to take compulsory registration. There are two exemptions, I have already told you. Secondly, if you are a casual taxable person, you will have to take compulsory registration. Sir, if you are a person who is going ahead and paying the GST under reverse charge, you will have to take compulsory registration. Next, NRTP. What is the difference between an NRTP and a CTP? NRTP is a person who is coming from other country, non-resident taxable person. Casual taxable person is a person who is domestic. So, sir, if you are coming from other state, you are a casual taxable person, you are required compulsory registration. If you are coming from other country, government is telling, Baba, you will come, do business and run away. So, better you first take registration. And then you go ahead and do your business. So, NRTP, non-resident taxable person, is also required compulsory registration. NRTP is also required compulsory registration. Do you guys remember? I went ahead and told you about the principal. Here there was an agent and here there was a customer. Principal went ahead and sent the goods to the agent. Agent went ahead and supplied, and the invoice was given in the name of the agent. Do you guys remember that? Yes, sir, we remember. Here government went ahead and told this agent who is required, he is required compulsory registration. If the principal is a registered person, means if the boss is a taxable person, agent is also required compulsory registration. Government is telling person making taxable supply of goods, services or both on behalf of other taxable person. Means if my boss is a taxable person, he is supplying and I am supplying on his behalf, I also have to take compulsory registration. Person making taxable supplies on behalf of taxable person as an agent who is supplying on behalf of principal is a taxable person, agent will be required compulsory registration. So here agent. Okay, everyone. Interstate supplier, casual taxable person, RCM supplies, NRTP and agent is required compulsory registration. Everyone, the other people who are required compulsory registration, it will be discussed at CA final level, not applicable for IPC level. So I have written over here to be discussed at CA final level. And the last is such other person or class of person notified by government on recommendation of council. Okay, sir. Now, we went ahead and understood. Everyone over here, listen. Registration may, there are section number 22, there is section number 23 and there is section number 24. Section number 22 goes ahead and says people who are liable. 23 says people who are not liable. Section number 24 goes ahead and talks about compulsory registration, which we just now learned. Interstate supplier, casual taxable person, RCM wala people, NRTP and agent of a taxable person. Yes, sir, we remember this. Now, section number 22 went ahead and told, section number 22(1) went ahead and told, if you are a supplier, you are required registration when your aggregate turnover crosses 20 lakh. Special category state, how much was the limit, everyone? Can you guys quickly tell me, special category state, how much was the limit? For the special category state, how much was the limit? Can you guys tell me, everyone? Quickly. Sir, for the special category state, the limit was 10 lakh rupees. Yes, everyone. Yes, sir. The special category state, the limit was how much, everyone? Quick, everyone. Sir, for special category state, the limit was 10 lakh. Yes, sir. Now, listen to me very carefully. Now, what happened? Government went ahead and used the power under section number 23(2) and told for supplier, we will go ahead and exempt them up to 40 lakh rupees. For some people, we will go ahead and exempt. For supplier of goods, we will exempt them up to 40 lakh rupees. See over here, government went ahead and told, if you are an exclusive supplier of goods, you don't have to take registration up to 40 lakh rupees. Sir, what is this 20? What is this 10 lakh? What is this 40 lakh? See, exclusive supplier of goods are not required to take registration up to 40 lakh. I'll go ahead and give you a shortcut. Remember, registration limit. Always remember, registration limit, there are three divisions which you will have to make. Number one, 10 lakh rupees ka limit. Number two, 20 lakh rupees ka limit. Number three, 40 lakh rupees ka limit. Okay. Sir, how will we go ahead and learn? I'll tell you like this. You always remember M square NT. What is M square? Manipur, Mizoram. Okay. N for Nagaland. T for Tripura. If you are in the state of M square NT, always remember one thing, everyone. If you are in the state of M square NT, if you are a supplier of goods or you are a supplier of service or goods plus service, whatever it is, the limit applicable is 10 lakh. If you are a supplier of goods also, if you are a supplier of services also, the limit applicable is 10 lakh rupees. Sir, the next one you have to remember, Pumas of Telangana. P for Puducherry. If you are there in the state of Puducherry, Uttarakhand, Meghalaya, Arunachal Pradesh. S for Sikkim, and you are there in the state of Telangana. Always remember, whether you are a supplier of goods or you are a supplier of service or you are supplying goods plus service both, for you the limit is 20 lakh, 20 lakh. Always remember, if Telangana has a team of 2020, the team ka name will be Pumas of Telangana. So that way you can go ahead and remember this. Okay, everyone. The next one over here is, sir, the third category which is there is Oak of Himachal Pradesh. Always remember, Oak of Himachal Pradesh. What is Oak, sir? O for other states, A for Assam, K for Jammu and Kashmir. Always remember, for them, whether you are going ahead and supplying, if you are going ahead and supplying goods or you are going ahead and supplying services or goods plus service, here also limit was 20, here also limit was 20, but then government went ahead and told, exclusive supplier of goods ke liye, exclusive supplier of goods ke liye, government told limit will be how much? 40 lakh rupees. This was the change which government went ahead and did. Now listen to me very carefully over here, everyone. Government went ahead and told one more thing over here. This 40 lakh is subject to condition. There are some condition which government told. You will get 40 lakh, but government gave some condition. What are the condition? Government told, not applicable if person is required compulsory registration. See, if you are going ahead and supplying interstate, you have to take registration compulsorily. What 20 lakh? What 10 lakh? What 40 lakh? Nothing. You have to take, sir. So if you are required, star means if you are required compulsory registration under section number 24, then what 40 lakh, what 20 lakh, what 10 lakh? You have to take compulsory registration. Then, if you are going ahead and supplying PIT, A is not there, PIT, Pan Masala, Ice Cream and Tobacco, Pan Masala, Ice Cream and Tobacco, then also you are required. So, sir, if I am supplier of Pan Masala, Ice Cream, Tobacco, then 40 lakh limit is not there. Can you tell me how much limit will be applicable? I will not get 40, but how much will be the limit applicable to me if I am supplying Pan Masala, Ice Cream and Tobacco, everyone? Quickly tell me, how much will be the limit I will be getting then? Sir, then you will get 20 lakh limit. You will not get a higher limit of 40 lakh. You will have to go with smaller limit, which is 20 lakh rupees. Very good, everyone. You will not get a higher limit of 40 lakh. Okay, next. If you are going ahead and exercising voluntary registration, or you intend to continue your registration, sir, I want to take registration, sir. Government is telling, if you want to continue voluntarily, or you are telling, sir, 40 lakh limit, I don't want, I am okay, I will continue with my registration. Baba, if you are continuing with your registration, then Baba, government is telling, you are a bakra, voluntary registration. Scapegoat, voluntary registration, if you are telling, Then sir, what 40 lakh, what 20 lakh? Voluntary, so people can take in 1 rupee also. Yes, everyone. Okay, sir. Always remember in your exam. Always remember in your exam, sir. M square NT, Pumas of Telangana, and Oak of Himachal Pradesh. Okay, everyone. Sir, M square NT, sir, 10 lakh and 10 lakh. Pumas 20 lakh, 20 lakh. If you are a person who is there in the state of Oak of Himachal Pradesh, then sir, it was 2020, but government told 40 lakh limit will be given if you are an exclusive supplier of goods. But here also government went ahead and gave the condition, if you have to take compulsory registration, 40 lakh limit is not there, go take compulsorily. Sir, if you are supplying pan masala, ice cream, tobacco, government is selling, we will not give you 40, 20 only is the applicable limit. Sir, if I am exercising voluntary registration, government told voluntary registration, then Baba, what 20 lakh, what 10 lakh, what 40 lakh. If you are exercising the registration voluntarily, then Baba, there is no limit only. 1 rupee also you can take voluntarily. Now, tell me one thing. If you are there in this state also and this state also, for an example, I have taken registration in Manipur and Puducherry and I am supplying goods. Can you tell me what is the limit applicable to me? I am there in the state of Manipur also and Puducherry also and I am supplying goods. Can you tell me what is the limit applicable for me? If I am checking my aggregate turnover, what is the limit applicable to me, everyone? Sir, 10 lakh rupees limit will be applicable to me. Always remember, lower limit will be applicable. I am there in the state of Assam also and I am there in the state of Tripura also. Can you tell me what is the limit applicable to me? If I am in the state of Assam also and I am in the state of Tripura also, here I am supplying goods, here also I am supplying goods, here 10 lakh is the limit, here 40 lakh limit is there. What is the limit applicable to my PAN? What is the limit applicable to me? Sir, the limit applicable to you is 10 lakh. Lower limit will be applicable. Okay, sir. Got the point. Please come back. Sir, this point you don't have to remember. Why? Because I have gone ahead and taken care of this point when I have gone ahead and explained you this chart. Remember this chart properly. Okay, sir. Done. Please come back. This chart I have given below also. Now, tell me one thing. If I am going ahead and giving someone, money to use, means I am going ahead and giving loans in advance and receiving interest income. For an example, can you tell me interest if I am going ahead in giving someone money to use and receiving interest? Interest is what, everyone? Interest is exempt supply of service. Yes, everyone, do you guys agree with me? Interest is exempt supply of service. Now, I will tell you, my taxable supplies is 38 lakh. Interest is income is, for an example, 3 lakh. Can you tell me my aggregate turnover? Aggregate turnover is 41 lakh rupees. Now, I am in the state of Assam. This is supply of goods. This is supply of service. Can you tell me what is the limit applicable to me if I am in the state of Assam, everyone? Can you tell me what is the limit applicable to me if I am in the state of Assam? Quickly tell me, everyone, what is the limit applicable to me if I am in the state of Assam supplying goods and service both? Because this interest income is a supply of service. Interest is a supply of service. Yes. So for me, the limit applicable will be 20 lakh. Yes, sir. Because you are supplying services in the state of Assam, the limit will become goods and service. The limit will become 20. But they went ahead and specifically told one line. They told, sir, person will be deemed exclusive supplier of goods even if he is engaged in exempt supply of service by way of extending deposit, loans and advance, so far as the consideration is represented by interest or discount. Means I will be deemed to be an exclusive supplier of goods even if I am receiving interest income. Can you tell me how much will be the limit applicable to me now? Can you tell me, even if I am having interest income, still how much will be the limit applicable to me now? Because of that line, I am deemed, even if I am having interest income, I will be deemed to be an exclusive supplier of goods, and for me, the limit applicable will be 40 lakh rupees. I hope this point is clear to all. Yes, sir, point is clear. Let's go ahead. Tell me one thing. For an example, my interest income is only 1 lakh rupees. Means the turnover is 39 lakh rupees. I am in the state of Assam. Do I have to take registration, everyone? Do I have to take registration? No, because for me, the turnover limit applicable is 40 lakh and not 20 lakh. Because even if you have interest income, they have still told Ramesh, for you, the turnover limit applicable will be 40 lakh rupees. It will not be 20 lakh rupees. I hope the point is clear to all. Quickly give me a like, everyone, if you understood the concept. Quickly, everyone, give me a thumbs up if you guys have understood the point now. Yes, sir. Point is clear. Okay. Chalo. Let's go ahead, everyone, over here now. Next. Section number 22, subsection 1 done. Section number 22, subsection 1 done. Section number 22, subsection 2 will go. Section number 22, subsection 2 is total bakwas. They are going ahead and telling, if before coming GST you are registered under the earlier law, with the coming of GST you can go, now you have to go ahead and register under GST also. Person registered under existing law from the appointment date of GST का registration का provisions were effective from 22nd of June. So they are telling you will become liable. Can you tell me, everyone? If you are a supplier, number 1, section number 22, subsection 1 told, if you are, who is liable? Supplier is liable. When is he liable? When his aggregate turnover crosses 40 lakh, 20 lakh or 10 lakh rupees. Yes, sir, point is clear. Secondly, sir, section number 22 is telling, sir, if you are a existing registered person, means you are registered under the earlier law, then also you will become liable. On which date? On the appointment date of GST. And appointment date of GST, for the purpose of registration, the GST ka provisions were effective from 22nd June 2017. Sir, this is the date when you become liable. You know why they are telling you when do you become liable? Because the day you become liable, no, you have to run and take registration within 30 days. The day you become liable, you have to take registration within 30 days. That is why the date of becoming liable is very important. Please come back. The third one, transferee. Do you guys remember, if one person is there, he's closed down his business and he has transferred the business to another person. I am going ahead and telling, when one person goes ahead and transfers the business as going concern, transferring of business as going concern is exempt in GST. Okay, because you are going ahead and transferring assets plus liabilities. Government went ahead and told, when you are taking the input tax credit, you were a registered person, you went ahead and transferred the business to another person. The transferee who is there, he has to go ahead and sell the goods and charge GST and give it to the government. Can you tell me, when I have transferred him the business, he has to take registration? Under which section? They have gone ahead and told he has to take registration under section number 22, subsection 3. See over here, they are telling transferee or successor, means whom you have gone ahead and transferred your business. Transferor was registered, I was registered, I went in and transferred my business. I have transferred it as going concern. Transferee has to take registration from the date of transfer. Once I go ahead and transfer him the business, from the date of transfer, he will have to go ahead and take registration. Next. So, sir, first of all, section number 22, we went ahead and learned section number 22.1. Who has to go ahead and take registration? Supplier has to go ahead and take. Sir, when will the supplier take? When the supplier ka aggregate turnover crosses 40 lakh, 20 lakh or 10 lakh. Okay, sir. Sir, second one, section number 22 went ahead and told, if you are an existing registered person, then you have to take registration on the appointment date. Third one, if you are a transferee, you will have to go ahead and take registration when? If my transferor, if one person has transferred his business to me, I am the transferee, now I'll have to sell the goods, collect GST and give it to the government. So government is telling this person, when he transferred the business to you as going concern, you will have to take registration from the date of transfer. Quickly tell me, everyone, is the point clear to all? Transferee is already registered, need not take again registration. Transferee is already registered, need not take again. Okay, everyone, from the date of transfer or succession. Succession means when supposingly one person ka father was carrying on the business, the father passed away, now the son has taken over the business, son will have to go ahead and take registration. Next. Now, the fourth one which is there over here, section number 22, subsection 4. Sir, I went ahead and transferred the business transfer is happening in case of amalgamation, demerger pursuant to court or tribunal ka order. Now, everyone over here, you know what happened? A Limited and B Limited was there. A Limited and B Limited ka board of director decided to merge. Then, after the merger, the decision was taken supposedly on 1st January. Then they went to the tribunal. Now, tribunal went ahead and gave them order saying they are merged together from this date. Tribunal went ahead and gave the order that they are merged together from this date. But tribunal ka order, once it comes, you will have to go to ROC, Registrar of Company, and you will have to go ahead and take certificate of incorporation. Registrar of Companies went ahead and gave you certificate of incorporation here. Can you tell me, only when you have the birth certificate you can go ahead and apply for registration? When will you become liable? The day you get the certificate of incorporation. Is the point clear to all? Can we go ahead, everyone? The day you go ahead and get the certificate of incorporation, you become liable. So in case of transferee, when one person has transferred the business to me, means A and B Limited became AB Limited. AB Limited, who is the transferee, has to take registration once you get the certificate of incorporation. Once you get the certificate of incorporation, run and take registration within how many days? Within, sir, 30 days. Always remember one thing, once you get certificate of incorporation, you will have to go ahead and take registration within 30 days. That's all is being told. I went ahead and told you about section number 22. Now, section number 21 I told. Who is liable? Supply is liable. When sir? When aggregate turnover crosses 20 lakh, 10 lakh or 40 lakh. Sir, section number 22, existing registered person. On which date? On the appointment date. Section number 23, transfer is liable from the date of transfer or succession. Section number 24, in case of amalgamation, again remember, transferee shall be liable from the date of certificate of incorporation. The day you are liable, please run, because you have to apply for registration within 30 days. Is the 4 points clear to all? Can we go ahead, everyone? Quickly give me a heads up. Is the 4 points clear to all? Can we go to section number 23 now? Yes, sir. Point is clear. We can go to section number 23 now. Let's go ahead to section number 23. Everyone over here. I went ahead and taught you about registration. Registration में there are section number 22, there are section number 23, and there is section number 24. Section number 22 goes ahead and tells about people who are liable. 1, 2, 3, 4 case I told. Section number 24 में I told you compulsory registration. Compulsory registration, interstate supplier, casual taxable person, then person who is required to pay tax under RCM, NRTP, and sir, agent of a taxable person. I went ahead and told you about this. Next, sir, section number 23 has people who are not liable. Section number 23 has 1, and section number 23 has section number 22. Section number 22 is just the power. Section number 22 is just the power with the government to go ahead and notify people. See, here you are required compulsory registration. Here also you are required people who are liable to register. 23 talks about people who are not liable. Not liable में government went ahead and used the power under section number 22, and government went ahead and exempted some people from registration, which I have already gone ahead and explained it to you. Now we have section number 23, 1, which goes ahead and talks about people who are not liable for registration. They are telling any person exclusive. So we are learning section number 23, 1, A and B. So if I am a person who is exclusively engaged in supplying of goods, services or both, that are not liable to tax or wholly exempt. So sir, if I am going ahead and supplying, if I am a person, I am supplying nil rated supply, do I have to pay anything to the government? I am supplying those goods on which tax is only not there. I am supplying those goods which are wholly exempted from tax, or I am going ahead and supplying non-taxable supplies. Tell me one thing, when on my goods or services there is no tax only, why will I take registration? Government is telling, Ramesh, don't go ahead and unnecessarily occupy our server space, because if I take registration, government ka server space is occupied. Every month I am filing nil return. Government told, see, only when there is profit from you, you take registration. Otherwise, I am not supposed to take registration. I am not going to pay anything only. Government told, don't take registration. So sir, if I am supplying nil rated supply, wholly exempt supply, non-taxable supply, government is telling, Baba, get lost, don't take registration. It says any person exclusively engaged in supplying goods, services that are not liable to tax or wholly exempt don't take registration. Secondly, agriculture is government is telling agriculture being the backbone of the country. We want to support agriculture. If there is a person who is an agriculturist, whatever he is growing and he is selling, supposingly he is growing and selling almonds, Baba, he will not have to go ahead and charge any tax because he is an agriculturist. Always remember one thing, an agriculturist, to the extent of supply or produce out of cultivation of land, is not required registration. I am an agriculturist, I am teaching. Am I required registration, everyone? My question is, I am an agriculturist, I am teaching. Am I required registration? Yes or no? Yes, sir. Baba, just because you have an agricultural land, you are going ahead and teaching. Baba, they are telling only if you grow out of cultivation of land and you are selling, then you are not required registration. I hope everyone is clear. If I am a person who is teaching over here, I am required registration. It says an agriculturist to the extent of supply or produce out of cultivation of land. If I am cultivating anything, 5 crore ka cultivation I did and I am selling, then also I am not required registration because I am an agriculturist. Now, who is an agriculturist? They have gone ahead and told over here. See, I have written the definition. Means an individual or HUF who does cultivation of land. I am doing cultivation of land. By own labor, I am doing cultivation, I am sweating. Or family labor, I put my family. Or to do cultivation. Or by servants on wages or hired labor under personal or family supervision. I'll tell you simple. Who is an agriculturist? I am sweating, I am agriculturist. I have got my family to work. My family is also included in the definition of agriculturist. Me and my family are working. Me and my family are working and me and my family are watching and people are working on wages. Then also I am an agriculturist. He is an agriculturist who does own labor or he gets his family to labor or he and his family are watching, people who are working, then also he is an agriculturist. Basically, you will have to sweat, only then you will become an agriculturist. Remember always, you are watching under your supervision, people are working, then also you are an agriculturist. I hope people are clear till here. So it says if there is an agriculturist or there is any person who is supplying exclusively those goods on which there is no tax, then there is no registration which is required. Next. Tell me one thing, everyone. I am an agriculturist. Agriculturist ka goods pe there is no tax. No tax means no registration I would have taken. It means I am not a taxable person at all. Now there is an agent who is there and he is supplying on my behalf to the customer. Tell me one thing, is my agent required compulsory registration over here? I am an agriculturist, he is my agent, he is supplying on my behalf. Is my agent required compulsory registration? Can you guys quickly tell me, is my agent required compulsory registration over here? Yes or no, everyone? Your agent, will he be required compulsory registration? An agent is required compulsory registration. See over here, everyone. An agent is required compulsory registration only when the principal is a taxable person. When your boss is not a taxable person only. Agriculturist is not required to charge any tax. Government went ahead and told agent also is not required compulsory registration. I always told you, when your principal is a registered person or a taxable person, only then you are required compulsory registration. So here there was a circular. Commission agent under Agricultural Produce Marketing Committee, APMC Act, making supplies on behalf of agriculturist. Agriculturist is not a taxable person, not liable for compulsory registration. He will not be liable for compulsory registration. People, we are done with section number 22, 23 and 24. What did we learn over here? I'll go ahead and quickly tell. We went ahead and started registration. Registration, people with me. Section number 22, 23 and 24. 22 went ahead and told about people who are liable. 23 people who are not liable. 24 compulsory registration. 22 had 21. Who is liable? Supply is liable when he crosses aggregate turnover of 20 lakh, 10 lakh and for 40 lakh also some states have been told who are supplier of goods 40 lakh. Existing registered person, appointment date, transferee on the date of transfer or succession, and in case of amalgamation, sir, from the date of certificate of incorporation, sir, who will be liable? Transferee will be liable. Why are they telling when do you become liable? You have to take registration because the day you become liable, you have to apply within 30 days. Okay, sir. Section number 23, one went ahead and told who is not liable. If you are going ahead and supplying those goods on which you are not liable to pay anything, don't take registration. Sir, if I am an agriculturist who is supplying produce out of cultivation of land, I am not required registration. Section number 24 went ahead and told about compulsory registration. Interstate supplier is required compulsory registration. Casual taxable person is required compulsory registration. The third one which was there over there, RCM. If I am required to pay tax under RCM, I have to take compulsory registration. Section number 24 went ahead and told NRTP who is going ahead and making taxable supply has to take compulsory registration. 5. Sir, if I am an agent whose principal is a taxable person, I am required to take compulsory registration. Here we are done with section number 22, 23 and 24. Quickly give me a heads up. Is the point clear till here, everyone? Yes, people, are we clear with section number 22, 23 and 24? Let's go ahead and take a quick break now. We'll resume from the break and continue our discussion on registration. Let's take a quick break, everyone. Okay, chalo, let's go quickly, come back quickly. It is 9:47, 10:05 we resume. 10:05 we resume, everyone. 10:05 we will resume. Please go quickly, come back quickly. 10:05 we will resume. जल्दी जाइए, जल्दी आ जाइए. Go quickly, 15 minutes.